हेलो माइक टेस्टिंग 1 2 3। अरे वो ठीक है, मुझे खाली पोजीशन देखना राजा। वो यहाँ से भी दिख रहा है।
iDAC Expo 2025, the 6th edition of this extraordinary event that has become a cornerstone for innovation, collaboration, and excellence in the fields of infrastructure, design, architecture, and construction.
Is creating the change that is much required.
Everybody who's a designer and in the design market right now should definitely come here. There's a lot to learn. It's really a fabulous community of creative people coming together. It's very enlightening.
Welcome you to the iDAC Expo 2025, the 6th edition of this extraordinary event that has become a cornerstone for innovation, collaboration, and excellence in the fields of infrastructure, design, architecture, and construction.
Is creating the change that is much required.
Everybody who's a designer and in the design market right now should definitely come here. There's a lot to learn. It's really a fabulous community of creative people coming together. It's very enlightening. It's really a fabulous community of creative people coming together. It's very enlightening. It's really a fabulous community of creative people coming together. It's really a fabulous community of creative people coming together. It's very enlightening.
Welcome you to the iDAC Expo 2025, the 6th edition of this extraordinary event that has become a cornerstone for innovation, collaboration, and excellence in the fields of infrastructure, design, architecture, and construction.
Is creating the change that is much required.
Everybody who's a designer and in the design market right now should definitely come here. There's a lot to learn.
Welcome you to the iDAC Expo 2025, the 6th edition of this extraordinary event that has become a cornerstone for innovation, collaboration, and excellence in the fields of infrastructure, design, architecture, and construction.
Is creating the change that is much required.
Everybody who's a designer and in the design market right now should definitely come here. There's a lot to learn. It's really a fabulous community of creative people coming together. It's very enlightening.
Welcome you to the iDAC Expo 2025, the 6th edition of this extraordinary event that has become a cornerstone for innovation, collaboration, and excellence in the fields of infrastructure, design, architecture, and construction.
Is creating the change that is much required.
Everybody who's a designer and in the design market right now should definitely come here. There's a lot to learn. It's really a fabulous community of creative people coming together. It's very enlightening.
you to the iDAC Expo 2025, the sixth edition of this extraordinary event that has become a cornerstone for innovation, collaboration, and excellence in the fields of infrastructure, design, architecture, and construction.
It's creating the change that is much required.
honorable guests, industry leaders, distinguished speakers, partners, and esteemed professionals. It is with great honor and enthusiasm that we welcome you to iDAC Expo 2026, the 7th edition of this extraordinary platform that continues to bring together the worlds of architecture, interior design, construction, and development. Over the years, iDAC has grown into one of India's most respected industry gatherings. It is a platform where professionals, innovators, policymakers, and visionaries come together to exchange ideas, share knowledge, and shape the future of the built environment. We're delighted to welcome you to the GeoWorld Convention Center in Mumbai, where over the next 3 days, from 12th to 14th March 2026, the industry will come together to engage in conversations that influence how our cities are imagined, designed, and built. This year, iDAC brings together over 150 plus exhibitors and more than 120 distinguished speakers representing diverse disciplines across the built environment. We are also honored to host this edition in association with the Housing Department of the Government of Maharashtra, reinforcing the importance of collaboration between policymakers, developers, architects, and industry leaders. We are especially proud to have MHADA, the Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority, as our housing partner this year. As one of the most significant institutions shaping housing and urban developments across the state, MHADA plays a vital role in creating inclusive and sustainable communities. Their presence at iDAC 2026 strengthens the dialogue between public policy and industry practice, and we value this partnership as we work collectively towards responsible and people-centric urban growth. As we gather today, we also celebrate the journey of iDAC itself. Now, in its 7th edition, iDAC has steadily evolved into a platform that contributes meaningfully to the advancement of the architecture, design, and the construction industry. Taking a moment to reflect on the journey that has brought us here, we are proud to have shaped 15 plus successful exhibitions, each one bigger and more influential than the last. 55 plus impactful conferences that are shaping industry trends and policies. Collaborations and associations with over 2,000 plus brands. Engaging a growing audience of over 60,000 plus B2B businesses. 1 million plus square meters of exhibition delivered to a growing global community of professionals dedicated to excellence. What began as an initiative to bridge the gap between ideas and execution has grown into a movement that fosters dialogue, encourages innovation, and builds connections and translates into real-world impact. Over the years, iDAC has brought together some of the most influential voices in development, architecture, interiors, and construction. Through its conferences, exhibitions, and curated conversations, the platform has helped shape industry perspectives on urban growth, sustainability, materials, technology, and design thinking. Today, iDAC stands as a meeting point for the thought, leadership, collaboration, and progress within the built environment. We would also like to acknowledge the partners and sponsors who have supported iDAC throughout its journey. Their continued trust and collaboration have played a significant role in the growth of this platform. Year after year, their support has enabled iDAC to expand its reach, elevate its conversations, and strengthen its impact within the industry. This year's conversation at iDAC are also guided by the idea of life after architecture, a perspective that reminds us that the true life of a building begins not at completion, but when people begin to inhabit and interact with it. The sessions across the design, build, and development districts will explore how spaces influence human behavior, social interaction, and everyday experience. Through these discussions, iDAC 2026 encourages the industry to reflect not only on how we design and construct buildings, but on how these environments continue to support well-being, community, and quality of life long after they are built. Through the discussions, iDAC 2026 encourages the industry to reflect not only on how we design and construct buildings, but on how these environments continue to support well-being, community. At the heart of this year's edition is the agenda of people-centric design. Through 18 sessions and discussions at iDAC 2026, we will explore how design decisions, policy frameworks, and construction practices can collectively contribute to environments that are healthier, more inclusive, and more responsive to the communities they serve. Across the venue, the conference is organized into 3 distinct districts that represent the key forces shaping our built environment. The development district, where conversations around policy, investment, infrastructure, and city making take center stage. The design district, which explores design thinking, spatial experiences, and evolving role of interiors and materials. And the build district, where the realities of constructions, detailing, systems, and execution are examined in depth. Over the next 3 days, the panel discussions and project presentations we host range from conversations on urban development and city making to design innovation, interior environments, and the practical realities of construction and execution. While the sessions and discussions form the intellectual foundation of iDAC, the experience extends far beyond the conference rooms. Over the next 3 days, visitors will explore product showcases, curated installations, and innovative design experiences presented by leading brands and industry partners. More importantly, iDAC creates opportunities for meaningful connections. Architects, developers, designers, consultants, manufacturers, and policymakers come together in one place to exchange perspectives and build relationships that often lead to long-term collaborations. In a city like Mumbai, where housing remains central to its continued growth as a global economic hub, institutions such as MHADA play a critical role in shaping inclusive and sustainable urban development. Their long-standing contribution to housing across the state strengthens the dialogue between policy, planning, and design. We are proud to have MHADA as a housing partner this year as we collectively explore solutions for people-centric urban growth. As we begin this year's edition, we look forward to 3 days of dialogue, discovery, and collaboration. It is our privilege to invite someone who has been instrumental in building this platform and shaping the vision behind iDAC. As a co-founder of NOVA Exhibitions and iDAC Expo, his vision is to create a platform that brings together architects, developers, designers, policymakers, and the industry leaders to exchange ideas and drive meaningful conversations for the future of the built environment. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Dhaval Thakur. Let's start with some more energy, everyone. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and respected dignitaries. Thank you so much, everyone, for making it over here. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to the 7th edition of iDAC in Mumbai. I, Dhaval Thakur, the co-founder and principal of iDAC, it's an honor to stand between amongst all such an inspirational gathering of architects, designers, developers, engineers, and policymakers from entire Maharashtra. So iDAC has always stood for collaboration and inclusiveness. And the very idea behind this platform was to bring together the three core pillars, which are developers, architects, construction professionals, who can exchange ideas and work collectively towards building a sustainable environment for our future generations to come. And this year especially, it gives me an immense pride to announce our association with the Housing Department of Government of Maharashtra and with MHADA as our housing partner. This collaboration strengthens the dialogue between policymakers, planning, and industry, which can collectively work together by creating housing and urban environments that place people in the center of development. On this note, it's my privilege to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Pankaj Bhoyar, Honorable Minister of State for Housing, Government of Maharashtra. Through Sir's leadership in housing and urban policy, he continues to champion initiatives that promote inclusive development and improve quality of life of the citizens of Maharashtra. His vision closely aligns with people-centric conversations that platforms like iDAC seek to encourage. Along with that, we have a very proud dignitary. I'm proud to welcome Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal ji, Vice President, Chief Executive Officer of MHADA. Sir's played a transformative role in shaping the housing landscape of entire Maharashtra, especially a city like Mumbai, where questions of housing is deeply questioned all the time, and dignity, accessibility, and quality of life of crores of people lies under his purview. Under his guidance, MHADA has continued to advance housing and redevelopment initiatives that aim to create accessible, dignified living environments for communities across Maharashtra. I'd also like to take a moment to thank my distinguished panelist, Mr. Satish Kumar, CEO of Mumbai First Organization, which is a leading industry platform for policy advocacy organizations to the government and to stakeholders to drive sustainable economic growth and infrastructure development in the MMR region. A round of applause for architect Hafiz Contractor, the man who needs no introduction, but someone who's known as the man who draws India with over 5 decades now. So thank you so much for your presence. Mr. Amit Kumar Sinha, the Managing Director and the CEO of Mahindra Life Spaces from Mahindra. Thank you so much for your presence, sir. Mr. Deben Moza, our Senior Executive Director of Knight Frank, who's going to be a moderator. It's an honor to have your presence and moderate this fantastic panel. Thank you so much for your presence, Deben, sir. So, especially this year at iDAC, we took a very collective decision, and the focus of iDAC is going to be the future is human-centric, where we're putting people first. At this time, when cities are expanding, India is expanding, the world is looking at us. Technology is transforming and how we design and build, which affect the lifestyles, which are evolving across generations, from generation X to generation Y and now generation Alpha. It becomes a crucial reminder to ourselves that, the future is something which is borrowed from our next generation. Buildings are not the end goal. People are. Architecture is not merely about creating structures, it is a creative science, where art meets engineering, where technology meets human experiences, and where the ultimate purpose, where technology meets human experiences, is to enhance the human spirit. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all our partners, our exhibitors, our speakers, and all the attendees who have contributed in making iDAC a platform of excellence. Your passion for innovation, design, continues to push the boundaries and push us to excel in our work. Over the next 3 days, I encourage all of you to collaborate, exchange ideas, listen to the talks, and explore the possibilities of future collaborations. Because together, we have the opportunity to shape the built environment that is more sustainable, from resilient, and above all, more human. And before I conclude, I would like to invite someone on the stage who plays a significant role in shaping housing policy and urban development across the state. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dr. Pankaj Bhoyar, the Honorable Minister of State for Housing, Government of Maharashtra, who is instrumental in the initiative that's focused on accessible housing. His vision for progressive and people housing aligns strongly with conversations we hope to encourage at this year. So, So I would request you to please speak few words to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together again for Dr. Pankaj Bhoyar, please.
So, good morning to all and welcome to iDAC. Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Shri Eknath Shinde ji will join us soon. On the event of this iDAC, respected Sanjeev ji Jaiswal, Amit Sinha ji, Mr. Satish Kumar, Shri Hafiz Contractor ji, Mr. Deben Moza ji, all eminent panelists, distinguished guests, respected architects, planners, developers, designers, industry leaders, and the members of the media, and Shri Dhaval Thakur and his team. It is truly a pleasure to be here today at the inauguration of iDAC Expo. This year's edition is especially significant as iDAC is being organized in association with the Department of Housing, Government of Maharashtra and MHADA in the housing partner of this event. This platform brings together policy, design, technology, and the development with a shared purpose to improve the quality of life for the people of Maharashtra. When we speak about the housing, we are speaking about the hope, security, and the opportunity. Maharashtra today stands at the forefront of India's urban transformation. Our state continues to attract investment, talent, and the innovation. With this growth comes a responsibility, the responsibility to build the cities that are inclusive, sustainable, and future ready. Under the leadership of our Chief Minister, Shri Devendraji Fadnavis, the government of Maharashtra has a very clear focus on housing, redevelopment, and urban infrastructure. Under the guidance of our Housing Minister, Shri Eknath Shinde Sahib, the Housing Department, through our very prominent agencies such as MHADA, SRA, or MMRDA, and other development bodies, is working tirelessly to ensure that every citizen has access to safe, affordable, and dignified housing. Large-scale redevelopment initiatives across the Mumbai and other cities are redefining urban living. The landmark Bhide Chawl redevelopment project in Varli is one of the such an example, where we saw the thousands of family transit into modern homes with better infrastructure, improved amenities, and enhanced community spaces. Today we also have with us some very distinguished speakers who will share their insights on policy, urban development, and sustainable growth. So as you may aware, apart from the housing department, I also hold the portfolio of home rural school education, and I would like to take opportunity to briefly highlight a few important initiatives of the government of Maharashtra in this sector also. Under the home department, the Police Housing and Welfare Corporation has been doing remarkable work in designing, constructing state-of-the-art housing infrastructure for the police, home guards, and prison department across the Maharashtra. Importantly, the department is also addressing a critical challenge related to prison infrastructure in urban areas. Extensive research in the being undertaken to explore innovative solutions such as multi-story vertical prisons and modern training centers for prison staff. For this purpose, the Honorable Chief Minister has directed us to study the global models in the countries such as United States, Philippines, Singapore, and other, so that Maharashtra can adopt the best international practices. In coming years, you will witness the transformation in this field also. Further, the Honorable Chief Minister has a vision providing residences for more than 40,000 police personnel over time to improve the living standards and the efficiency of our police force and their families. As a part of this initiative, the government has launched the Mumbai Police Housing Township project with the MSIDC appointed as a nodal agency to achieve this very ambitious milestone. In the first phase, 5,000 houses will be constructed across 75 land parcels in Mumbai. Talking about school education department, the Maharashtra has around 65,000 government schools in the state, and the central government are continuously working to provide a high quality education and global learning opportunity to the student in these schools. In this addition, under the CM Shri school project, the department has already identified near about 5,000 schools that will modernize with the state-of-the-art infrastructure and improved learning environment for our students. At the same time, we are encouraging the adoption of modern construction technologies, sustainable material, green building practices that will make our cities more resilient and environmentally responsible for the future. However, the government initiatives alone cannot shape the cities for tomorrow. The future of our built environment will depend on the collective strength of architects, engineers, developers, and the innovators working together. This is why the platform like iDAC Expo are important. Through this partnership between iDAC, the Department of Housing, MHADA, we hope to encourage meaningful conversations and collaboration that will create an impact lives of people across the Maharashtra. Our vision is clear: to build the cities that are modern, efficient, sustainable, and designed around the people's need. Before I conclude, I would like to once again congratulate iDAC team, Department of Housing, especially MHADA, and all exhibitors and participants who have made their events possible. I wish all of you a productive, inspiring, and impactful event. Thank you very much and all the best. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Bhoyar, for those insightful words and for sharing your perspective on the future of housing and urban development. I now request Mr. Vivek Bole and Mr. Siddharth Saraf to please felicitate Dr. Bhoyar. Can we have you on stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause for Dr. Bhoyar? Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the panel discussion. Our first session today is titled People-Centric Policy Framework for Mumbai Sustainable Growth. I would first like to call on stage our absolutely wonderful moderator for this session, Mr. Deben Moza, the Senior Executive Director, Head of Project Management Services at Knight Frank, India, who will be moderating this panel discussion. Welcome, sir. Please. Next, I would like to call on stage Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal, IAS Vice President and Chief Executive Officer, Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority, MHADA. With a career spanning over almost 3 decades, Mr. Sanjeev Jaiswal, currently the Vice President and Chief Executive Officer of the Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority, MHADA, represents effective governance and innovative leadership, an esteemed member of the 1996 Indian Administrative Service IAS batch. Mr. Jaiswal has dedicated his career to enhancing public administration through a blend of strategic foresight, ethical governance, and a deep commitment to public service. Welcome, Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal ji. Next, I would like to call on stage Mr. Satish Kumar, CEO, Mumbai First. Can we have you on stage, please? Welcome, sir. Next, we would like to call on stage Mr. Amit Kumar Sinha, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mahindra Life Spaces. Welcome, sir. And now I would like to call on stage Architect Hafiz Contractor, Principal Architect Hafiz Contractor. Welcome, sir. Have a wonderful panel discussion.
I have a lot of papers too. I'll come once I do the introduction, I'll come. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to welcome you to this important session on people-centric policy framework for Mumbai's sustainable growth. We're deeply honored by the presence of our distinguished dignitary, Dr. Pankaj, Honorable Minister of State for Housing. His leadership is instrumental in steering the policies and reforms that are shaping the future of urban development and housing across the state. Mumbai today stands at a pivotal moment. The city is undergoing one of the most significant urban transformations in its history. From the underground Metro Line 3, expected to serve nearly 1.6 million passengers daily, to the coastal road project designed to ease congestion and improve connectivity across the city. At the same time, the city faces equally significant challenges: housing demand, redevelopment of aging infrastructure, and improving quality of life in a city where nearly half the population resides in informal settlements. This makes one principle absolutely critical: development must remain people-centric. Urban growth must go beyond infrastructure to include clean air, infrastructure, healthy buildings, inclusive housing, and ensuring every citizen benefits from Mumbai's progress. To explore these issues, we're joined by an exceptional panel of leaders shaping the city's future. Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal, Vice President and CEO of MHADA, driving a large-scale housing delivery and redevelopment. Shri Satish Kumar, CEO of Mumbai First, promoting collaborative public-private solutions for infrastructure. Shri Amit Sinha, MD and CEO of Mahindra Life Spaces, championing sustainable and wellness-focused development. And finally, Shri Hafiz Contractor, Principal Architect, Hafiz Contractor, whose designs have shaped much of Mumbai's skyline. Together, they bring perspective from policy, planning, infrastructure, architecture, and private development. I look forward to a stimulating conversation on how Mumbai can evolve into a more sustainable, inclusive, and globally competitive city built around well-being of its people. So let's begin this discussion. I'll start with Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal ji. With nearly 3 decades in public service, you have held several key leadership posts like Municipal Commissioner of Thane and Nagpur, Additional Municipal Commissioner of BMC, where you played a critical role in leading city's COVID containment strategy, including the widely recognized Dharavi response. At MHADA, you have been spearheading several transformative initiatives, from digitization of 15 crore housing records to launching MMR Growth Hub initiative, which aims to enable the development of nearly 8 lakh homes by 2030. You also have been driving large-scale cluster development projects, including the landmark redevelopment of BDD Chawls in Worli, Naigaon, and Kamatipura, which could redefine housing and urban renewal in Mumbai. My question to you, sir: as Mumbai continues to grow and densify, how can housing policy and redevelopment models ensure that growth remains inclusive, sustainable, and truly people-centric for the city residents?
Thank you, Devin. And at the outset, I would like to welcome our Honorable Minister of State, Shri Pankaj, who is here for the session. Our Honorable Minister, Shri Eknath Shinde ji, will be joining soon. So that was a part of the formality that I had to extend before I say something.
Sure.
Coming back to the question that you raised, you see, the new housing policy of Maharashtra 2025 has made a very paradigm shift as far as the approach to housing is concerned. The erstwhile policy was almost 20 years old, And after a lot of deliberations with the various stakeholders, the state government tried to broaden the ambit by focusing primarily on 5 segments. So the first segment was affordable housing, which typically MHADA has been doing over the years, and even agencies like SRA, though they are primarily into slum rehabilitation, or even CITCO, MMRDA. They're the main housing stock creators apart from the local bodies. So as I said, affordable housing was one of the first component which has been focused in this. The second important element which has been missing over the years, and I'm sorry to say this, that for some reason, maybe I don't know why, it was never thought upon, and that is regarding the rental housing. If you ask me honestly, today the need of Mumbai, apart from affordable and high segment, or what we say the premium housing area, the primary need is of rental housing, because people who come here are primarily coming for 2 years, 3 years for a job, or even for a shorter stint. So that has been one of the focus area of the new housing policy, for which MHADA has been made the nodal agency. Thirdly, segments like working women hostel, or old age home, or students hostel, and lastly, industrial workers housing. So these are the 5 or 6 main elements which have been incorporated primarily to ensure the inclusivity, the sustainability, affordability, and most important, the improvement in the quality of life, which we collaborate with the happiness index as a part of people who are going into redevelopment, and obviously in all this, MHADA has a very major role to play.
Sir, you spoke about the housing for rental housing. You spoke about creating housing for industrial workers and working women hostel, or those kind of things. Mumbai is undergoing a transformation right now in terms of redevelopment. We were having a discussion, close to 150,000 societies need to be redeveloped. So there's a lot of stress in terms of whether the society should reach out to a developer or to MHADA. So how are you managing this partnership with the developers in creating affordable housing in city like Mumbai?
So let me start with what are the biggest challenges as when it comes to housing, and especially when we say about redevelopment or ensuring low-cost housing to the people who can't afford higher segments. So the first thing in Mumbai is that Mumbai being landlocked, land availability is the biggest challenge. The second challenge is the high affordability index which we have in Mumbai, which is almost near 50.
Right.
So that means that anyone who takes a housing loan, they have to pay almost 50% of the income as EMI, which is obviously not advisable and not doable either. The third is that if at all we are talking about Mumbai especially, and even the MMR, then redevelopment is the most priority area, for the simple reason that if land were to be made available, it could only come through the 114 layouts that MHADA has in the suburbs and the CES buildings which we have in the city. Now, in light of this, there has been 2 major change in the whole approach, and I would like to acknowledge the role of our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri ji, publicly, that he has envisaged 3 elements. A is that if at all we were to increase the expanse of Mumbai, I use the word increase the expanse of Mumbai, then connectivity is a very important factor. So if you see in the last few years, whether it is the coastal road, whether it is Atal Setu, whether it is the Samruddhi Mahamarg, which is from Nagpur to Mumbai, or you see almost the 300 kilometers of the metro network that is being laid across Mumbai and the MMR region. Or if you see the new airport which has come at Navi Mumbai, the Vadhavan port which is planned, which is going to be one of the biggest port in the country, comparable to the almost the biggest element ports across the world. And not only that, the coastal road is also now being extended beyond Bandra. It will go till Goregaon, and then further on it will go to Vasai, and then later on it is planned to go till Vadhavan. Now, why I'm saying all this is that if you see the travel time has come down. So today, the desire of having a house in Mumbai proper, either the city or the suburbs, which maybe would not be giving that infrastructure which is needed in terms of amenities, is very much possible if one moves out of Mumbai and goes towards Panvel or goes towards Navi Mumbai or goes towards Thane or anywhere else. So this is one important change. Second is that till now, if we talk about redevelopment, the focus was primarily on individual redevelopment. When I say individual redevelopment, it means one building, two buildings coming together and going in for redevelopment. Definitely, the people residing here were getting better houses. But in terms of the infrastructure of the project, it was not advisable. So I'm sorry if I use this word, but then it was more of a creation of a vertical slum, provided I'm not quoted, though I'll be quoted tomorrow. So what Sir has done, and even our Honorable Minister, both our Deputy CM and our Minister of State, the new focus is on cluster redevelopment. So when I say cluster, it means taking the whole layout, barring those parts of the layout which already has been developed or where the development plans have been approved. So if I just give you one figure, that in the last 1 year, in Mumbai alone, either approved by the cabinet or the developer has been appointed through CND, which is a construction and development model, or in tender process, what will be the reasons? More than 800 to 1,000 acres of land in Mumbai proper is opening up for redevelopment on a cluster model. And trust me when I say this, like every layout is expanding almost to 40 acres, 60, 100, 140. To give you some example, Motilal Nagar is 140 acres. GTB Nagar, which is in Sion, which was literally people had given up the hopes, the war refugees, that is going into redevelopment. Kamatipura, we're going to change the name of it, but assembly is going on, so I don't want to say anything beyond that. Kamatipura, which was always, like it was a question that could it be redeveloped. I'm really happy to say that Minister of State Pankaj Bhoyar Sahab and even our Chief Minister have taken so much efforts. So now Kamatipura has been tendered, Abhyuday Nagar has been awarded, Bandra Reclamation, Adarsh Nagar is in the pipeline, SVP Nagar is in the pipeline, Aram Nagar has been awarded, and we are now also trying to work on certain clusters which maybe is not economically very viable, like Charkop, Gorai, and so on. In short, communication in terms of connectivity, to shift in the focus from individual redevelopment to cluster redevelopment, and thirdly, which I don't want to miss out, is as regards the CES buildings, which is in the city proper. The government has come up with a very revolutionary amendment in the form of 79A and 91A. I don't want to delve more into that. Unfortunately, in one of the matter, the Honorable High Court has made some observation regarding the competent authority, which we have challenged in the Supreme Court. But it is a game changer because for the first time, the monopoly of the landowner, I repeat, the monopoly of the landowner or the developer appointed by them, I wouldn't say the effort has been made to end it, but for the first time, the opportunity to go in for redevelopment, if the landowner doesn't come forth with the 51% consent, has gone to the tenants or the people residing in that building. So this is I would say something which is going to be a game changer. And trust me when I say this, that with the target of 3 million houses as a part of the growth hub, out of which 2.2 million is going to be through slum redevelopment, 0.8 million houses is what MHADA has committed to have it in the stock in the coming 5 to 6 years, either directly or indirectly. And obviously there are other panelists, so I'll just end up on one thing, that in the whole process of this cluster, apart from the premiums and the revenues that we get, MHADA itself is going to get more than 10 lakh square meter of built up houses, which if I convert to a 500 square feet apartment, it comes to more than 20,000 apartments, which will be opened up on the ready reckoner rates for the common public in Mumbai. And lastly, BDD Chawl, where we are rehabilitating 17,000 plus people in the 3 sites. In fact, Monday, Honorable CM and other dignitaries are handing over the keys at Naigaon almost 800 plus, and Worli we have already handed over the keys, the first phase. So overall, I see a very good growth, and I would just take this forum and as an opportunity to say to everyone, in spite of the war at Iran, in spite of the uncertainty about the dollar, in spite of the surging price of crude oil, and the various, whatever is going on at the international level, Mumbai is giving you a lot of opportunities. Mumbai and MMR is the right place to invest, to step in, and to come in for a positive approach. While doing that, please keep in mind also the poor people, the so-called people in the segment of EWS and LIG. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very insightful. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll move to our next panelist, Shri Satish Kumar. Mumbai First has been one of the city's most influential civic think tanks, bringing together leaders from business, government, and civil society to shape the conversation about Mumbai's competitiveness and long-term livability. Under your leadership, the organization has been actively engaged on critical urban issues from urban mobility and sustainability to air quality and governance forms. Mumbai First has also worked closely with institutions which include Maharashtra Pollution Control Board to strengthen environmental outcomes and support data-driven policy dialogue for the city. Your work essentially sits at the intersection of policy, industry, and civic engagement, helping ensure that Mumbai's growth is both strategic and collaborative. My question to you, sir, from the perspective of a civic think tank that works closely with both government and industry, what are the most important partnerships and policy frameworks needed to ensure that Mumbai's future growth is sustainable, competitive, and people-centric?
Thank you, Devin. Well, I would like to thank iDAC for giving this opportunity to us. Congratulations to iDAC for putting up this great show. Yeah. So, Mumbai First is a think tank, and we were inspired by London First. We are a catalyst. So what we do is we do policy advocacy, and I would like to say the best partnership of how to work in the city is through partnership, especially that question that you had asked, is on three ways, I would put it. Government working with industry is one partnership. Number two, government working with communities is another way. And Mumbai Fest as a civic think tank working with stakeholders like academic institutions, research institutions, and to put down policy making framework and things like that. So one of the best things that I mentioned about government and industry coming together in one platform, we had this exercise done in the beginning 25 years back when we had an empowered committee where private players and senior government officials came together and set up this empowered committee for especially deciding on speeding on policy frameworks, speeding up projects, ultimately with a goal to make Mumbai as a world-class city. So that was the prime objective, and this would be the best partnership because the government can have the vision of the private sector in line with them and develop the city. The other aspect I mentioned about the working with the communities, we also had a citizen action group where there were 30 eminent citizens and meet once in 3 months with the chief minister presiding over, listening to them, answering to the demands of the citizens in taking up issues and things like that. So that is number two. And number three is that we constantly work with stakeholders where we have address urban challenges on various issues, which is a major challenge for in the realm of climate change. The issues like air pollution, heat stress, public health infrastructure, and mobility in the city. So we address all these things and as think tank, what we try to do is we bring all the the government, the industry, the stakeholders and the communities in one platform to bring together and address the issues. So this is how we do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have a follow-up question for you. How Mumbai First is structured in dealing with government, industries and stakeholders and civil bodies?
Okay. So how we are structured is we work on 3 verticals. These are, one is the Mumbai Sustainability Forum, and then we have Mumbai Happenings. The third one is Mumbai Roundtable. So in the Mumbai Sustainability Forum, we have participation of private companies who are the heads of sustainability, who actually bring in ideas, deliberate, mainly work on the challenges, urban challenges, which is, again, I told you about air pollution, heat stress, mobility, and on the health. You know, these are the major things that we face now. And we address through, and we meet once in 2 months and take it up. So with regard to Mumbai Happenings, what we do is, whatever best things happening in the city, in terms of innovation on sustainability, in terms of governance, what we try to do is we bring experts to come and talk, and we invite citizens to come and participate and deliberate. So we create awareness, whatever new things which are happening in the city. So finally, in the Mumbai Roundtable, what research that we do on all these urban challenges, we finally present a recommendation to the government of Maharashtra to present it. This is how we structure.
Thank you so much. Now, my next question is to Shri Amit Sinha. Mahindra Life Spaces is widely recognized as India's leading sustainable real estate developer with a strong presence across residential communities, integrated townships, and industrial ecosystems. Under your leadership, the company has set a notable benchmark in sustainability, ranking first in Asia on Global Real Estate Sustainability Benchmark public disclosure for 5 consecutive years. Great achievement. Achieving a perfect score of 100, a remarkable achievement in the global real estate sector. At the same time, through the Happiest brand, Mahindra Lifespace has also made a significant stride in affordable and mid-income housing, delivering projects across cities like Pune, Chennai, Mumbai with strong focus on sustainability, community well-being, and future-ready urban design. So my question to you, sir, from a developer's perspective, how can sustainability move from being a differentiator to becoming a mainstream standard in housing and urban development across the cities like Mumbai? And how do you balance between sustainability and economics?
Thank you for having me, and it was great to hear, Minister Sir, your thoughts, and my panelists. It was great to hear the vision and the changes that are coming to MMR and Maharashtra. I spent 15 years in Gurgaon, so I've seen Gurgaon, how it transformed, but the changes that are happening in MMR and in Maharashtra are once in a lifetime. It is changing Mumbai's map on the global scale. So thanks for having me. I think to address your question, I think 2-part answer. The first part is why sustainability and how do you actually, how do you make it mainstream? And the second is how do you balance the economics? So let me address them quickly. The first one is tough. We started the real estate business 30 years back, and some part was residential and some part was industrial. So we have something called Mahindra World City Chennai, Mahindra World City Jaipur, and the residential journey has been, I would say, so-so. It's not been a stupendous growth journey. To make ourselves relevant in the market, we wanted to have an identity, some differentiation. And we found that sustainability is our calling. And since 2014, we have always followed building, constructing green buildings. So from 2014. And then we realized that that's not enough. To be a leader, we need to think about net zero energy, net zero waste, net zero water. Each one of them becomes harder as you go up. And similarly, IGBC, the platinum rating, and many of our sites, projects are IGBC platinum, most of them are at least gold. But the journey towards that is not easy because it costs us roughly 2% more when we design a building. The design itself, and Mr. His contractor is here, he can, you have to study a lot about the solar pattern, the seasonality, the rain, the water, and then you know, just a simple example, if you have to put windows in a room, if you make the windows too big, light will come, but heat will also come.
That's right.
Right, so how do you actually design the building in such a way that you want more light to come, but the heat shouldn't come? And then if heat comes, the air conditioning will go up in terms of consumption and expenditure. So you have to improve the quality of the glass, which will prevent heat from coming in. So how do you balance the size, the thickness, the quality? All those things become very important. So the cost of construction goes up. But when we realized the rub-off effect on our customers, on the environment, we felt that this is worth it. And most of our customers don't necessarily pay for sustainability. But I'll tell you verbatim in Hindi, I heard a channel broker, how he was selling our apartment, Kandivali apartment, to a customer. उसने बोला, customer ने उससे पूछा कि ये net zero क्या है? तो net zero से क्या होता है? बोला आप वो सब छोड़ दीजिए, जब आप walk करेंगे ना project में, तो सब green दिखेगा और हवा शुद्ध हो जाएगी. So you will breathe fresh air and everything would be green. So that is how the broker explained net zero benefit to some of our customers. Fortunately, the customer bought the apartment, and many such customers exist. But the question is, how do you actually improve the sustainability index of each of the society? Energy is very different. Waste is a big issue in this city, any city, right? And then water is not easy to solve, right? So we all have to make investment in a small way so that we can have customers who will get the benefits of these elements over the life cycle of the project. So which we are making a significant effort, and we have found many learning which we are sharing with the community so that they can actually implement in their. Coming to your second part of the question, it's tough. The economics are very tough to work, but we think that when you have the rub-off effect on the brand, I think it justifies. So.
Thank you. And I have a follow-up question for you. You recently announced an equity partnership with Mitsui Fudosan, Japan's largest developer. What are the learnings for design, sustainability, and economics through the players like Mitsui and other global developers?
Yes. No, I'll tell you a small thing. I've been fascinated by Tokyo, and fortunately this partnership happened. You may know this, Tokyo, we always have the GDP ranking by country, but the city which has the largest GDP is not New York, it's Tokyo. Tokyo alone has a GDP of 2.5 trillion. Country is roughly 5 trillion, 50% is from one city. While Japan's GDP has been flat practically for last 20 years, Tokyo has maintained the largest GDP city for the last 20 years. And why is that? And that's because of the point you mentioned, sir, about the urban development, the housing. They have 990 metro stations, train stations within that city. So people can work in the city, they can live away from the city 1 hour, maximum 70, 80 minutes. The quality of life and the quality of work, both are well balanced. So we've been fascinated, and we were looking to grow the firm, and we said, who is the right partner for us who understands sustainability, who understand inclusivity, who understand the design requirements of an emerging country, right? And we found Japanese players, and this Mitsui is the largest one, and we didn't partner with a private equity fund because they have a desire to exit after 5, 7, 8 years. We wanted a strategic partner who can stay with us for a much longer period. The ethos of how Tokyo or Osaka or many of these cities have developed has a very strong handprint of companies like Mitsui Fudosan. So it's not an equity alone partnership, it's a partnership of mind, It's a partnership for the development of city, for the development of country in some shape and form. We not only get the funds for a long term, but we get the design learning, the sustainability learning, the construction learning. And you've seen some of the Japanese, any product that you see in Japan, either it's used in electronics or cars or housing, it's a very different. And we are learning quite a lot from them. And our hope is that this equity partnership grows for multiple projects. So it's a sizable news for us, and hopefully we'll grow this.
Thank you so much. Now, finally moving to Mr. Hafiz Contractor. Your career spanning several decades. We spoke, you said you started working since 1969. And you're widely regarded as India's most prolific architect, and your work has played a major role in shaping the residential and commercial skyline of not only Mumbai, but a lot of cities in India. Your portfolio spans an extraordinary range of projects from large-scale housing developments and hospitality projects to corporate campuses and mixed-use developments executed at a scale that very few architects in India have matched. Over the years, you have been also a strong and candid voice on urban planning, development regulations, and need for pragmatic building policies to address housing challenges and of rapidly growing cities. My question to you, sir, from an architect's perspective, how can design and planning regulation evolve so that the cities like Mumbai can deliver higher densities while ensuring better living conditions, open spaces, and more humane urban environment?
Good question, but it requires a much longer time to answer that.
Right.
But let's look at, all of this, if you put it together, the most important thing, Mr. Jaiswal said a lot, and I'm very happy that what the present government is doing, what the Chief Minister is doing, but the housing sector, all of them are doing great work, okay? And we're doing a lot of infrastructure. Everything is going very fine. But finally, everything boils down to pricing. Pricing of a house in Mumbai.
Right.
Now, when we are talking about pricing of a house in Mumbai, there's something like construction cost, you cannot reduce it.
Right.
There's something like interest cost. Okay, that also, whatever people may say, interest cost you cannot. But there are one or two points which I suffer every day. And those are some kind of organization, I would say. Environmental approval. When the city says that I can do residential, there was a zoning plan, everything is there. If there is an industry in the city, now there are very few, okay?
Right.
And I want to put up a housing project. I have to go to the environment approval. And most of the time, the environment committee is not there. 6, 8, 10 months, we have to wait. Why? Why you have to take an environmental approval when the municipality has said that I can do housing? Yes, if I'm taking a plot somewhere on the hills or somewhere, and I'm doing some big development, yes, I have to go to the environmental approval.
Right.
These kind of approvals, you should get rid of, which is not necessary. It's just an unnecessary burden. And each and every architect, how many architects are here? They must have got environmental approvals, okay? And what do you finally get after 6 months or 7 months, or that is also if you are lucky.
Yeah.
Sometimes, the environmental committee is not there. Bol? Okay, yeah. And you will make sewage treatment plant, you will this, Arey Baba, you please print it and give it that whenever you do this, okay, it's there. cost is the most important element for anybody to buy a flat. Yes, MHADA is doing approvals, other approvals. Now, I should not say it. Why MHADA has been given the approval authority? Because it's faster. I'm telling you, you don't do like this. Don't get away, sir. It's faster. Okay? So other things I would not like. Another thing. Now, whenever we are talking about large developments, cluster developments, everything, finally it boils down to how much of greenery you're going to have, how much of open space you're going to have. Again, high-rise approval, high-rise building. A lot of buildings and a lot of things, we have to change. And we have to say, the builder will say, iske upar nahi janega, iske upar nahi. He's not concerned. Everybody uses this word sustainable, sustainable, sustainable. According to me, I don't know, half of them, do you understand also what sustainable is? If there is a tree to be cut, it's most sustainable. झाड़ काट दो ना, अपन 10 ज़्यादा लगाएंगा. The 10 ज़्यादा लगाएंगा, उसमें एक भी, Now the main thing is another, high-rise approval. Why? You mean to say the engineers don't know what they are doing? Now these kind of approvals, finally it goes time. Time is money. Okay? And other thing, that it improves our layout. It improves our greenery. It improves all of that. Another thing which a lot of you may not like it. All coastal cities all over the world, they believe and they have done reclamation. Some reclamation was going on in 68 and 70s. And because of certain things, certain people took objection. And it was stopped. Why are we not considering reclamation? You could create more greenery. You could create so many things. When Coastal Road was getting planned, we had the plans of making 500 meters of green space. Everybody started saying, no reclamation, no reclamation. Why? Think of you love Singapore, you love Tokyo, you love New York. Every coastal city has reclaimed thousands of acres and created new districts, new greenery, new parks. Why are we not doing it? Laws make a lot of difference. We as architects are just small pawns. Bureaucrats are the real architects, the real planners. Ministers are the real creators. They change the law, everything changes, and we fall in line. So please consider this environmental approval. Get the city. If the zoning is there, I can do development. I should not be allowed to go to environmental approval and waste months and months and months. High-rise approval. And think about reclamation. Each and every coastal city of the world, each and every coastal city, we are the only great guys in the world who believe in no reclamation. Completely foolish. Thank you very much.
You wanted to respond.
Yeah, I think I have to react to Hafiz bhai. Amazing analysis and amazing thoughts expressed. At the outset, let me say to you, I agree with you. With the assembly going on right now, and if I say this, that I agree with you, there is going to be a sort of a,
sir,
what they say, hakkabhang.
Sir, if...
But let me just complete. You see, if you ask me as Sanjeev Jaiswal, who's put in 30 years in these services, I've been very lucky. I've worked primarily in cities as in the capacity of municipal commissioner. I've been collector, divisional commissioner. 3 points that you mentioned. I don't want to go into the merits of it. So first thing which I will come to is that you are right. If the construction or whatever we are doing has to be sustainable, then obviously there are how fast the approvals come is an equally important factor for the costing in terms of the interest. I myself told you that, not you, sorry, I myself told here that the affordability index of Mumbai is very high. Now to bring down the affordability index of Mumbai, if you go through the suggestions that I have made in the housing policy, which is in the zone of consideration, I wouldn't say that it has been rejected or approved, there are 4-5 major elements which we have already recommended to the government. One is that, you know, you bring down your premiums, your cost of your premiums. Secondly is the development charge and the cess that is paid along with the metro cess and so on should be reduced to at least 50% when it comes to affordable housing. Third is your stamp duty. Now, once the building receives OC, fair enough for an affordable housing, the stamp duty goes, the GST element is different. But inevitably, everyone books an apartment in the construction stage. So GST, stamp duty, premiums, development charges, cess, and so many clearance charges. You know, you trust me, Hafiz bhai, if I say this to you, that a mere 50% reduction in this will bring down the affordability index in terms of affordable housing. I am not talking about the high premium segment, to by more than 30 to 35%. Now what it means practically is that your affordability index comes down to around 28 or 30, A. B, as far as the environmental rules are concerned, well, it was at the earlier stage, it was conceived that, you know, any development beyond 20,000 square meters needs environmental clearance. I echo with you, but at the same time, I can't say much about it being in the bureaucracy myself. That obviously the reason for that is the environmental concerns, as far as the government of India feels or the state government feels, is taken care of. But yes, there can be an SOP which can be framed that supposedly you're doing this, then this is what should be incorporated. And if it is certified, then maybe the consideration could just be a formal approval. Third is as regards reclamation. All the cities in the world have gone in for reclamation for housing needs. Unfortunately, the CRZ rules in our country and everything bars reclamation for housing. I had taken up this issue personally with the Honorable Chief Minister. Now what they are still thinking is, because, you know, there's this NGT, then there's the Supreme Court, then there's this, and, you know, anything you do, even for the coastal road, you'll be surprised, it was envisaged way back in the 60s. Vadhavan Port was envisaged way back in 90s. It has come to see the light of the day after so many years because, you know, the whole thing had to be proved that it is not going to hit upon the zone, the ecology and the other things. So at some stage, I personally feel that yes, we have to do away with such restrictions, but that involves a lot of, you know, consent of the government of India, A. B is that, you know, in our country, we are very democratic. Freedom of speech, freedom of going to the court, freedom of filing a PIL, freedom of, you know, putting a report in the media. And then, you know, nowadays with the advent of social media, your trial is done much before, even when you see the post which came about you. So today if someone writes a post about me, you know, like saying that he is useless, even before I read it, it's got viral. I have been tried, I have been pronounced guilty, and so on. So supposedly if any developer, you know, says that, okay, मैं सिर्फ excavation चालू करता हूँ, because my proposal has been submitted to SIAC or whatever be it, big news. And then we always have the so-called activists who are there, you know, who are just harping on this, that to find out what is going on the ground, and it leads to a tirade. So with due respect to what you said, and please, sir, bear me when I said that I do agree with him. But on a very official note, I would say that the government is seized of these issues and would definitely work out some solution in the coming day. Great. Thank you.
So one thing, sir, you know, nobody would even venture out saying that you should reclaim. Because, you know, it's like murder, that I want to murder somebody and coming out and... I think it's completely wrong. Let us start, It is going to take a long time. It is going to, yes, I'm not saying that you reclaim her in rural areas or metros. Metros, at least consider that. Okay. And another thing, sir, what you said about lowering premiums, all of that, yes, it should be done. But at least that money is going to some other organization which will at least use it somewhere, okay? Lowering it for low cost is very, very essential. But lowering, eradicating this for at least low cost housing, or say that you are doing housing or so much, no environmental approval is necessary. With this, put down, you will do this. And you will save on 8 to 9 months. 8 to 9 months of interest cost is how much? It's killing.
What I feel is that we can continue with this issue of the discussion beyond the panel, because they are all captive audience out here. So they'll have to bear us out. But just to not counter what you said, definitely, you see, as far as our Honorable Chief Minister is concerned, and I'm saying it on record, these aspects, as far as the reduction of the premiums or bringing down the affordability index, the delay in the environmental clearance, if it is in CRZ, and again the other issues pertaining to that, blah, blah. See, one concern which he normally raises, and I'm putting it on public record. I still remember, sir was also there. We had a very big detailed presentation on the housing policy and everything. His only concern was that experience says that whenever premiums have been reduced or whenever the charges have been reduced, was it passed on in toto to the consumer? Now, supposedly during the COVID times, you had a 50% reduction, again a 50% reduction, one-time reduction, fair enough. But in between, the government does keep on coming up with such policies. And what is his concern is not to bring down or reduce the costing of all these elements, but to bring in a robust mechanism to ensure that supposedly with all this, there's a 20% reduction in your charges. Then how will it pass on to the consumer is a big challenge. So, the big developers, the big players, I would say that they still, somehow are able to convey that positive part, but there are a lot of players who maybe are not very, I would say, I don't want to do the word disloyal, but maybe they are not equally convinced to pass on what they get from the government to the people. So this is a question on which I think we should end this panel as far as we are concerned. Rest, I think the moderator, he has a right to do anything up beyond this.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Sir, you have anything to add to it?
अभी हफीज़ भाई ने जो यहाँ पे क्वेश्चंस क्रिएट किए हैं, उन्होंने बहुत सारी सुंदर चीज़ें क्रिएट की है और नई चीज़ें, सुंदर चीज़ें जो उनके दिमाग में वो क्रिएट करना चाहते हैं, पर वो उतना स्पीड से एग्जीक्यूट नहीं हो पा रहे, इसलिए आपका ये संताप है कि क्यों नहीं हो रहा है। पर्टिकुलरली आपने एनवायरनमेंट क्लियरेंस के बारे में बोला। सर, जब हम लोग गवर्नमेंट में बैठते हैं, मुझे ऐसा लगता है आपने कुछ बाहर के कंट्रीज़ के एग्जांपल्स दिए कि सिंगापुर और कुछ कंट्रीज़ के, सिर्फ हमारे मुंबई की पॉपुलेशन में शायद 20 सिंगापुर बैठ जाएंगे। यहाँ हम लोगों को पब्लिक को कंसीडर किए बगैर कुछ नहीं किया जाता। फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर कल आपने असेंबली में LAQ एक लोक प्रतिनिधि ने LAQ लगाया, पत्रा चौल जो 10 साल से नहीं बन रहा था, 2008 से जो 10 साल नहीं बना, उसमें म्हाडा ने इंटरफेयर किया, 500 CR उसमें डाले, पूरा प्रोजेक्ट क्रिएट किया, उनको लेटर्स हैंड ओवर हुए टेनेंट्स को। उसके बाद में भी अभी पब्लिक बोलती कि नहीं, हमको ये चेंजेस करके चाहिए। अलॉटमेंट लेटर्स के बाद में पूरा प्रोजेक्ट रेडी होने के बाद में पब्लिक वहाँ नहीं जा रही। हम लोग जब बैठते हैं तो हमको पब्लिक को भी कंसीडर करना पड़ता है और जो आर्किटेक्ट्स है या मशीनरी सिस्टम है उसको भी बैलेंस करना है। तो आपने जो चीज़ की एकदम फैक्ट है कि कुछ चीज़ों की वजह से एकदम डिलेड हो जाते हैं प्रोजेक्ट्स, उसका कॉस्ट चेंज हो जाता है, पर अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारे यहाँ जो सिस्टम है वो मासेस को कंसीडर करके डिसीजन लिया जाता है। इसलिए आपका भी कहना चाहिए कि ये चीज़ें फास्ट अप होनी चाहिए, उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट बार बार कोशिश करते हैं। और उसी तौर पे मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इन 10 सालों में जितने प्रोजेक्ट्स हुए हैं और जो चेंजेस मुंबई में हुए, उनमें आप लोगों का भी रोल इंपॉर्टेंट रहा है। पर और ये स्पीड अप कैसे किया जाए, इसलिए आप लोगों का साथ भी उसमें रहना जरूरी है। जब तक हम लोग पब्लिक को कंसीडर नहीं करेंगे, तब तक ये हो नहीं पाया। और इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि iDAC जैसा प्लेटफॉर्म जरूरी है, जहां ये सब सारी चीजें ध्यान में आते हैं। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir.
iDAC को बोला था कि आप हम लोग को बुलाते हो, टाइम स्पेंड करते हो और उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है। I told him, whatever is discussed, put it in the media. Put it in the media and say that this are for the good of the people. If we can reduce the cost of housing in, why Hyderabad and everybody is going there? Not that they like that space. Mumbai is much, much better. But you can get housing for 10,000. You can get offices for this. Over here, you know what, we are talking about 2 lakhs per square foot. You know, nowadays, and we are very proud. No, I'm not proud. Nobody can afford it. It's a disgrace. Why? Because we are not paying for some product. We are paying for scarcity. Don't make us pay for scarcity.
सर एक्सक्यूज मी, मैं डिस्टर्ब करता हूँ। अगर कोई अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता था 2 लाख स्क्वायर फीट, तो वो प्राइस जाती ही नहीं थी। लोग अफोर्ड कर सकते, इसलिए प्राइस 2 लाख स्क्वायर फीट गई हुई। अगर अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता तो प्राइस जाता ही नहीं था। वहाँ यहाँ कैपेसिटी के लोग हैं जो 2 लाख रुपए देना चाहते, तब कहीं जाके सेलर उसको सेल कर रहा है और बायर उसको बाय कर रहा है।
I'll just add on to what sir said. The Honorable Deputy Chief Minister is on the way. I think he should be here in the next 10-15 minutes. So just to keep the crowd entangled with this boring panel discussion. See, the point is, what Hafiz bhai, what you're saying is, you know, we are trying to talk about 2 segments at the same time. One is the premium segment. Trust me, you see the figures. The real estate sale in Mumbai in the last quarter, and especially if you bifurcate it in terms of the high-end premium purchase, it's gone beyond the sky. Now, this is where institutions like MHADA, SRA, CITCO, MMRDA, and the local bodies come into play. You see, we are giving affordable housing at a price of maybe 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs. You see the cost of MHADA housing for a 300 square feet flat in Mumbai, which is a high-rise building. It comes at around 40 to 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, at times maybe a little higher price. 400 to 500 square feet goes somewhere around 1 crore, 1.25 crores. You see the quality of construction. You see, the second point which I didn't want to say right now, not to defend the government. You see, ultimately, obviously, being a bureaucrat, I have to be on the side of the government. You see, all this infrastructure that is being created in the city or around, whether it is metro. Metro is costing how much? 1 lakh crore plus. The Atal Setu, the coastal road, the extension, the Navi Mumbai airport, the Vardhaman port, the new, you know, the Edu City, the medical city which is coming up, you know, all these things, everything has a cost. Now, government has only one avenue to bear this infrastructure cost, and that is to have a system whereby the recovery. Now, what is happening is, the pinch of that is going a little more to the real estate.
So nobody's questioning, you know, taxes in the right way.
No. I'm not talking about taxes. You see, as far as the income tax is, this is concerned, I'm not talking about taxes. What I'm trying to say is the costing which is there, which can definitely be considered. But at the other end, you see, if you see what the Honorable Chief Minister said on record in the House, that, okay, fine, our debts have gone up to 11 lakh crores plus or whatever be it. But at the same time, if you see the way Maharashtra is growing, if you see that, you know, from $180 billion economy, as far as MR is concerned, we are aspiring to be a $300 billion by 2030. As the nation proceeds from 3.7 trillion to a 5 trillion economy, maybe by 27 end, with this war, maybe it could go up 6 months plus. Maharashtra itself is also, you know, thinking in terms of having a 1 trillion economy. And by 2047, which has been announced by the Honorable Prime Minister as a part of Viksit Bharat and Atmanirbhar Bharat, you know, when we are saying that we are going to be a $30 trillion economy. So ultimately, it's not that it's the question of, you know, the country not growing or the state not growing, with the GDP almost at 7.6, 7.8, which is the highest in the world. If you compare to any other cities, as he mentioned about Japan, they're all stagnant. All the developing countries are stagnant right now. So in this scenario, I personally feel, yes, with some policy regulations and some major regulatory authorities role reduction. I will not say the punching power. If that is done, then fair enough, I think we can aspire as per your vision. So let's end on that note. I think the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister is almost on the way, so I will have to go to receive him.
Yeah, sure, please.
Before you all go, I think the audience, if you all have any question,
I think he has to.
No, my deputy CM. Yeah, the questions
Please.
can be to him.
Okay, but you're going to come back, right?
Sorry?
You're going to come back, right?
I can't afford to go till he's here.
Please come back, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I request you all to please be seated. And what an insightful, knowledgeable panel discussion. The debate was very interesting. Everyone, please take your seats. Everyone there, please take your seats. Thank you. Welcome you to the iDAC Expo 2025, the 6th edition of this extraordinary event that has become a cornerstone for innovation, collaboration, and excellence in the fields of
Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Shri Eknath Shinde ji, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra is on his way here. So a humble request to everyone to please kindly take their seats.
It's creating the change that is much required.
Everybody who's a designer and in the design market right now should definitely come here. There's a lot to learn.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are posting moments from the expo on social media, please remember to tag us official handle at iDAC_expo and use the hashtag iDACF for all. Your posts help extend these conversations beyond the venue and allow the larger design and construction community to be a part of the ideas and insights shared here. We will now move forward to welcoming our Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Eknath Shinde, and for that I request everyone to please kindly take their seats. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege to have our Honorable Shri Eknath Shinde, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, gracing us with his presence. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege to have with us today Honorable Shri Eknath Shinde, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Welcome, sir. It's an absolute honor having you here with us today. I now request Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal, Vice President and Chief Executive Officer, Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority, MHADA, to please come on stage and share his insights. Can we have you on stage, sir?
आपला राज्याच्या आदरणीय उपमुख्यमंत्री महोदय व आपला विभागाच्या माननीय गृहनिर्माण मंत्री श्री एकनाथ शिंदेजी, तसेच आपला नाही तसे अरे सर ते समजते सर, महाराष्ट्रामध्ये काम करायचं असेल तो हिंदी समजायलाच पाहिजे आणि मराठी समजायलाच पाहिजे, काय हरकत नाही आहे. म्हणजे आपला राज्याच्या माननीय राज्यमंत्री श्री पंकज भोईजी आणि इथे सर्व जे आपल्याला मान्यवर आहे सर, आपला येण्यापूर्वी हे iDAC जे ऑर्गनायझेशन आहे हे इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेव्हलपमेंट आर्किटेक्चर आणि कन्स्ट्रक्शन हे एक प्लॅटफॉर्म आहे सर, जिथे सर्व आर्किटेक्ट्स डेव्हलपर्स आणि जे निगडीत इतर लोक आहे त्यांना एकत्रित आणणे आणि एकत्रित आणल्यानंतर त्यांचे जे स्टॉल्स आहे आणि जे नवा आपल्याला जे टेक्नॉलॉजीमध्ये बदल झालेली आहे, विशेष करून ग्रीन टेक्नॉलॉजी, वेळ आपल्याला कसा कमी करता येईल बांधकाम करण्यासंदर्भातमध्ये, तसेच नवा तज्ञाचा वापर करून आपल्याला ह्या पूर्ण कन्स्ट्रक्शनच्या क्षेत्रामध्ये एक असं भव्य वाढ कसा करता येईल, त्या अनुषंगाने हे 3 दिवसाचा कॉन्फरन्स आहे सर. त्या संदर्भातमध्ये आपला राज्यमंत्री महोदयने आपला राज्याच्या हाऊसिंग पॉलिसी आणि तसेच आपला राज्याचं जे धोरण आहे त्याबद्दल त्यांनी स्पष्टपणाने त्यांचे विचार मत केलेला आहे सर. फक्त एक विषय सर आपला कानावर मी टाकू इच्छितो. आजच्या जे पॅनल डिस्कशन झालं सर, तो पॅनल डिस्कशनमध्ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी, इन्क्लुझिव्हिटी आणि जे आहे ज्याला आपण म्हणतोय की ह्याला आपल्याला एक्सपॅन्डेबिलिटी इन द सेन्स की आणखी घटकला कसं आपल्याला समाविष्ट करता येईल, तो त्यामध्ये प्रामुख्याने हाफिज कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर इथे होता सर आणि इतर लोक होतात. त्यांनी अतिशय काय म्हणतात काही शब्दाच्या मिन्सिंग न करताना एकदम कडक शब्दामध्ये त्यांनी 2-4 त्यांच्या व्यथा मांडलेल्या आहे, जे मी आपल्या नजरेस आणू इच्छितो. एक त्यांचा मुद्दा असा आहे सर बाकी लोकांच्या की पर्यावरणच्या जे आपल्याला क्लिअरन्स भेटते ते बरेचदा पर्यावरणची समिती नसते किंवा त्या पर्यावरणच्या क्लिअरन्स भेटण्यामध्ये भरपूर विलंब लागतात, कारण काही पण असेल. तो त्या संदर्भातमध्ये त्यांची एक अशी विनंती आहे की राज्य शासनाने ह्या संदर्भातमध्ये त्यांच्या स्तरावर आणि तसेच केंद्रीय स्तरावर जे काही पर्यावरणशी निगडीत मुद्दा आहे जेणेकरून थोडा फास्ट ट्रॅक क्लिअरन्स होऊ शकतात, ते एक पहिला मुद्दा होता सर. सर दुसरा जे मुद्दा आहे की एकतर्फे मुंबईमध्ये 2 लाख रुपये स्क्वेअर फीट प्रमाणे पण तर हाई कॉस्टली बिल्डिंग किंवा फ्लॅट गेला विकायला भरपूर लोक घेतात. तो म्हणे यावर आपला राज्यमंत्रीने बरोबर उत्तर दिला की 2 लाखच्या तरी तुम्ही दर म्हणत असेल तो 2.5 लाखमध्ये पण घेणारा लोक भरपूर आहे, हाई सेगमेंट. पण अफोर्डेबल हाऊसिंग ज्यामध्ये विशेष करून आपण इकॉनॉमिकली विकर सेक्शन आणि LIG, तो या संदर्भातमध्ये किमती कमी करण्यासाठी तो जे एक आपल्याला प्रीमियम असो, डेव्हलपमेंट चार्जेस असो किंवा GST असतील किंवा स्टॅम्प ड्युटी असतील, तो सर्वची भावना अशा आहे सर की आपल्यासारखे अतिशय उपक्रमी आणि जे काय धाडसी निर्णय घेणारा आपण उपमुख्यमंत्री आहे सर, पूर्वी आपण मुख्यमंत्री होता सर, याची पूर्ण कल्पना आपल्याला आहे. तो एक अपेक्षा सर्व कडून आहे की ह्या संदर्भातमध्ये जे काही अफोर्डेबल हाऊसिंगसाठी काही ह्या अनुषंगाने आपल्याला काही सवलती देता येईल का, जेणेकरून प्राईस त्याची कमी व्हावे. ते करत असताना सर मी ह्या विषयाबद्दल ज्यावेळी आपल्याशी आणि मुख्यमंत्री महोदयसोबत चर्चा झाली होती,
तो शासनाच्या जे एक अपेक्षा आहे की हे कमी केल्यानंतर प्रत्यक्ष जे खरेदी करणारा माणसं आहेत त्यांना ह्याच्या फायदे कसे भेटणार. पण आपण तर 20% रिडक्शन केला तो त्यांच्या हे कसं भेटेल हे एक दुसरा विषय होता. आणि तिसरं जे एक विषय आहे सर की ते आहे की सर्व जे आपला ऑर्गनायझेशन्स आहे ज्यांच्या वेगळं वेगळं परवानगी लागते त्या सर्व परवानगीच्या संदर्भातमध्ये एक वन विंडो किंवा एक टाईम बाउंड परमिशनची संदर्भातमध्ये काय करता येईल हे 3 प्रमुख मुद्दा सर आजच्या या पॅनल डिस्कशन आणि ह्यामध्ये आलेला आहे. आज आपण स्वतः इथे असल्यामुळे माझ्यापेक्षा ह्या पूर्ण हाऊसिंग क्षेत्राच्या आणि पॉलिसी संदर्भातमध्ये मुख्यमंत्री म्हणून आणि आज सध्या उपमुख्यमंत्री म्हणून आपल्याला पूर्ण ज्ञात आहे. क्लस्टरबद्दल सर मी थोडा कल्पना दिलेला आहे. ठाणेमध्ये आपण क्लस्टर जे आपण सुरुवात केलेला त्याबद्दल आपण बोलणारच आहे. तर एवढंच आपल्याला आतापर्यंत झालेल्या घडामोडीची एक पार्श्वभूमी दिल्यानंतर मी आपणास विनंती करतो आहे की आपण आपला मनोगत आणि आपला भाषण आपण सर्वला करावे सर. थँक्यू सर.
नमस्कार सगळ्यांना. जय महाराष्ट्र. आयडॅक एक्सपोसाठी देशभरातून आलेल्या सर्वांचं मुंबईमध्ये महाराष्ट्राच्या भूमीवर मी मनापासून स्वागत करतो आणि आज सगळ्यांचं स्वागत करतो. मला पंकजने सांगितलं मुंबईतले भरपूर लोक आहेत, देशभरातूनही लोक आलेली आहेत. सब जगह से आहे ना ऑफिस भाई. आणि म्हणून पंकज भोयर इकडे आहेत, संजीव जैसवाल आहेत, सतीश कुमार, अमित सिन्हा, सगळ्यात चांगले आर्किटेक्ट, हाफिज कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर, श्री डेबेन मुझा, respected distinguished industry leaders, architects, builders, urban planners, policy makers, and all the passionate professionals gathered here today. Dignitaries from the government of Maharashtra, आमचे संजीव जैसवाल, त्यांचे इतर सगळे आहेत. आइडियाक एक्सपो, मैं पहले ही आते आते कहा कि आइडियाक एक्सपो ये आइडियाक में ही आइडिया है, तो बड़ी नई आइडिया लेकर ये आइडियाक एक्सपो यहाँ आया है. इसलिए मैं आइडियाक एक्सपो का बहुत ही हृदय से स्वागत करता हूँ, उनका बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूँ. हमारे लिए ये एक्सपो का उद्घाटन करना बहुत ही सौभाग्य की बात है. हमारे स्टेट बजट का बजट सेशन शुरू है और बजट सेशन में भी काम शुरू है, लेकिन यहाँ पर आइडियाक एक्सपो ने जो महत्वपूर्ण इवेंट यहाँ पर शुरू किया है, ये मेरे ख्याल से 7th एक्सपो है और हर नई नई आइडिया यहाँ पर लेकर लोग आए हैं आणि इथं पॅनल डिस्कशन पण होईल, त्यातून नवीन नवीन आयडियाज लोकांना मिळतील. आणि म्हणून मी देखील माझं बजेट सेशनचं काम थोडं बाजूला ठेवून इकडे उपस्थित राहिलो. आमचे राज्यमंत्री पंकज यांचा आग्रह होता आणि आपल्यालाही भेटता मला आलं. कुछ दिन पहले हमने स्टेट बजट पेश किया है. इनफैक्ट वो एक बजट नहीं बल्कि महाराष्ट्र जैसा देश का ग्रोथ इंजन 2047 तक जो उड़ान भरने जा रहा है उसकी एक झलक है. बिल्डिंग महाराष्ट्र, बिल्डिंग इंडियाज फ्यूचर, यही विजन लेकर हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. इसलिए आज का आइडियाक एक्सपो हमारे लिए एक महत्वपूर्ण प्लेटफॉर्म भी है सभी लोगों के लिए, ऐसी मेरी समझ है. 3 दिनों में इस प्रदर्शनी में 15-20 हज़ार लोग यहाँ पर आएंगे. 150 से अधिक एक्सपर्ट यहाँ पर अपने अपने विचार रखेंगे। उद्योग जगत की सभी प्रमुख हस्तियाँ, पॉलिसी मेकर्स हो, उन पॉलिसी को लागू करने वाले राजनेता हो और पर्यावरण एक्सपर्ट, सभी लोग यहाँ उपस्थित होंगे। इसीलिए ये केवल प्रदर्शन नहीं बल्कि शहरों के सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट और भविष्य को प्रभावी बनाने की एक कोशिश है, ऐसा मैं समझता हूँ। इस प्रदर्शन के आयोजक, उनको फिर से मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। आप ऐसे इवेंट के लिए मुंबई क्यों चुनते हो? मुंबई कोई क्यों चुना जाता है? क्योंकि मुंबई एक वर्ल्ड क्लास सिटी है और इसलिए सारे काफ़ी बड़े बड़े एग्जीबिशन यहाँ होते हैं। लास्ट ईयर देश की पहली वेव्स यानी वर्ल्ड ऑडियो विजुअल एंटरटेनमेंट समिट मुंबई में इसी बीकेसी में हुई थी और देश विदेश से इस क्षेत्र के अनेक नामी लोग उसमें शामिल हुए थे। मुझे याद है हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी खुद पूरे दिन इस समिट में उपस्थित थे। आज जहां हम उपस्थित है वो बीकेसी का टॉप कमर्शियल हब होने जा रहा है। कुछ महीने पहले बीकेसी के 2 प्लॉट दुनिया के 2 बहुत बड़े नामी जापानीज इन्वेस्टर्स ने लिया है। 15,000 से ज़्यादा जॉब क्रिएट हो जाएंगे, युवाओं को मिलेंगे और करोड़ों डॉलर्स का इन्वेस्टमेंट भी होगा। ऐसी ये बीकेसी है। महाराष्ट्र आज इन्वेस्टर को अट्रैक्ट करने और रोजगार निर्माण करने के मामले में बहुत ही उल्लेखनीय प्रगति कर रही है। राज्य सरकार ने कई इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी लागू की है। अभी संजीव जायसवाल जी ने कुछ उसमें से कहा था। इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल पॉलिसी है, डेटा सेंटर पॉलिसी है, लॉजिस्टिक पॉलिसी है, सेमीकंडक्टर और हाईटेक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए हम प्रमोशन कर रहे हैं। अभी जनवरी में हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर देवेंद्र जी दावोस गए थे। उनके साथ हमारे इंडस्ट्री मिनिस्टर उदय सामंत जी गए थे। 30 लाख करोड़ के एमओयू साइन हुए। ये बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट है। जब मैं चीफ मिनिस्टर था तब दावोस गया था 2 बार, लगभग 15 से 15 लाख करोड़ के एमओयू साइन हुए थे। लेकिन इसमें से लाखों जॉब क्रिएट हो जाएंगे। इन्वेस्टमेंट का ये सिलसिला जो है 2022 से शुरू हुआ है और हम सिर्फ एमओयू कागज पर नहीं करते, इसका कन्वर्जन रेट जो है 75% से ज़्यादा है। इसकी मुझे खुशी है क्योंकि जो इन्वेस्टर आता है, इंडस्ट्री लगाता है, उसको यहाँ का वातावरण भी, यहाँ की फैसिलिटी भी, यहाँ से सब सहूलियत भी मिलनी चाहिए। हमने उसके लिए सिंगल विंडो क्लियरेंस भी शुरू कर दिया और इसलिए इसका कन्वर्जन 70% से ज़्यादा है। इसके अलावा 2025 में महाराष्ट्र के भीतर लगभग 53 इम्पोर्टेंट एमओयू साइन हुए, जिनसे करीब 2.96 करोड़ का निवेश आएगा और लगभग 3 लाख नए रोजगार पैदा होंगे। ये भी महाराष्ट्र के लिए बड़ी बात है, युवाओं के लिए बड़ी बात है। ये उपलब्धियां केवल आंकड़े नहीं है। आज हम अपनी वैश्विक नेतृत्व की भूमिका को और मजबूत कर रहे हैं। इसके साथ ही हम क्लीन एनर्जी, इलेक्ट्रिक मोबिलिटी, फिनटेक लॉजिस्टिक्स और सेमीकंडक्टर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग जैसे अपकमिंग क्षेत्रों में इन्वेस्टमेंट को भी प्रोत्साहित कर रहे हैं। हम सिर्फ मुंबई, पुणे, नागपुर तक सीमित नहीं है। मुंबई, पुणे, नासिक, संभाजीनगर इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर, नागपुर वर्धा क्षेत्र में भी लॉजिस्टिक हब और कोकण रीजन में पोर्ट बेस इंडस्ट्री शुरू हो रही है। गढ़चिरौली का नाम आपने सुना होगा। गढ़चिरौली बहुत ही पिछड़ा डिस्ट्रिक्ट है। नक्सलाइट एरिया है, वहाँ भी जैसे आदिवासी क्षेत्र में हम इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन ला रहे हैं, वहाँ पर स्टील हब बन रहा है। पहले तो कोई जाता नहीं था वहाँ पर, लेकिन एक यूनिट शुरू होने के बाद, मुझे याद है जब मैं गार्जियन मिनिस्टर था और पहला यूनिट शुरू करने के लिए बहुत ही इनिशिएटिव लेना पड़ा, लेकिन आज सब लोग जाते हैं, सब लोग चाहते हैं हम गढ़चिरौली में हमारी इंडस्ट्री डालें। ये बहुत ही चेंज है और इसलिए ये सब मिलकर महाराष्ट्र को भारत का सबसे बड़ा इंडस्ट्रियल और आर्थिक केंद्र बनाने जा रहे हैं। हमारी सरकार वर्ल्ड क्लास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, ट्रांसपेरेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और उद्योगों के लिए अनुकूल वातावरण उपलब्ध कराने के लिए पूरी तरह कमिटेड है। पिछले कुछ वर्षों में महाराष्ट्र इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के क्षेत्र में ऐतिहासिक महाराष्ट्र में काम हुआ है। सर विंस्टन चर्चिल का एक फेमस कोट है, गुड रोड्स, गुड रेलवेज, गुड पोर्ट्स, these are the things that make a country great। और जॉन एफ कैनेडी कहते हैं, अमेरिकन रोड्स आर गुड नॉट बिकॉज अमेरिका इज रिच, बट अमेरिकन रोड्स आर गुड बिकॉज दैट्स वाई अमेरिकन रोड्स आर गुड। यही कहूँगा कि जॉन एफ कैनेडी ने, मैं फिर से कहता हूँ, अमेरिकन रोड्स आर गुड नॉट बिकॉज अमेरिका इज रिच, बट अमेरिका इज रिच बिकॉज अमेरिकन रोड्स आर गुड। अमेरिका की पहचान क्या है? अच्छे रोड है, कोस्टल रोड आपने देखा है। और हमेशा हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी कहते हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज द फाउंडेशन ऑफ ए स्ट्रांग इकोनॉमी। और हमें मजबूत इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का निर्माण करके महाराष्ट्र की इकोनॉमी को सबसे मजबूत करना है। इसलिए हमारी सरकार लगातार कोशिश कर रही है। आज राज्य में एक्सप्रेसवे, मेट्रो, पोर्ट्स, एयरपोर्ट्स और लॉजिस्टिक पार्क का विशाल नेटवर्क तैयार किया जा रहा है। अटल सेतु पे आप गए होंगे, समृद्धि महामार्ग देखा होगा, नागपुर मुंबई एक मिसाल है, एक गेम चेंजर प्रोजेक्ट है। कोस्टल रोड, आज ट्रैफिक डीकंजेस्ट करने के लिए ये कोस्टल रोड कितना मायने रखता है। पहले 40-50 मिनट, एक घंटा लगता था, आज कितना 20 मिनट में वहाँ पहुँच जाते हैं। आज समृद्धि नागपुर मुंबई 22-22, 20-20 घंटे लगते थे, 15 घंटे लगते थे, आज सिर्फ 7 घंटे में नागपुर से मुंबई, मुंबई से नागपुर। अटल सेतु देखो, देश का सिंगल लॉन्गेस्ट सी ब्रिज है, 22 किलोमीटर का, उससे कितने लोगों को राहत मिली है। इसलिए कहने का मतलब ये है कि ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट जो है ये कनेक्टिविटी बढ़ाते हैं। एमएमआर में लगभग 350 किलोमीटर की मेट्रो का नेटवर्क हम बना रहे हैं और नवी मुंबई इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट पिछले साल शुरू हो गया है। वहाँ पर हम तीसरी मुंबई का निर्माण कर रहे हैं। वहाँ एजू सिटी आ रही है, मेडी सिटी आ रही है, स्पोर्ट्स सिटी आ रही है, पूरा वहाँ की इकोनॉमी पूरी तरह चेंज हो जाएगी, एक गेम चेंजर हो जाएगा। पालघर में और एक नया एयरपोर्ट बनाने जा रहे हैं। पालघर जिले में जहाँ देश का सबसे बड़ा वाधवन पोर्ट बन रहा है, हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने 76,000 करोड़ रुपीस वहाँ पर इन्वेस्टमेंट किया है। ये हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है। वहाँ चौथी मुंबई का निर्माण हम करने वाले हैं, वहाँ भी एयरपोर्ट होगा। तो मुंबई एयरपोर्ट में जो इतनी भीड़ होती है वो जरूर कम हो जाएगी। MMRD has also signed MOUs with prominent financial institutions to accelerate infrastructure development in the MMR region. The value of these upcoming projects is approximately 3.5 lakh crores. ये बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट है। और इसलिए मैं ये कहूँगा, अभी जैसे संजीव जायसवाल जी ने कहा था रियल इस्टेट के बारे में, मैं ये कहूँगा कि आफ्टर एग्रीकल्चर रियल इस्टेट इज द सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट एम्प्लॉयमेंट प्रोवाइडर, सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट एम्प्लॉयमेंट प्रोवाइडर है। मैं जानता हूँ, मैं जब यूडी मिनिस्टर था, अभी उसके बाद मैं चीफ मिनिस्टर बन गया, लेकिन अभी मेरे पास यूडी भी है और हाउसिंग भी है, डिप्टी सीएम तो है, तो रियल इस्टेट क्षेत्र को बढ़ावा देने के लिए उस वक्त मुझे याद है कि वो बहुत ही बुरी तरह कोविड भी था, लेकिन रियल इस्टेट बहुत ही डिफ़िकल्टी में आया था। तब मैं सही कहूँगा तो ऑक्सीजन पे था, और हम अगर सपोर्ट नहीं करते तो वेंटिलेटर पे चला जाता। सही है ना? तो हमने उस वक्त यूनिफाइड डीसीपीआर लागू कर दिया और एफएसआई बढ़ा दिया, 50% प्रीमियम कम कर दिया। और जैसे संजीव जायसवाल ने कहा कि पब्लिक को क्या फ़ायदा होगा, तो उस वक्त हमने कंडीशन डाली, स्टैम्प ड्यूटी भी जो है 50% करी थी। तो 50% प्रीमियम जो लाभ लेगा वो जो हमारे एंड यूज़र को 50% उसका स्टैम्प ड्यूटी भी भरेगा। तो वो लागू भी हुआ, इम्प्लीमेंट भी हुआ, और अभी आपने कहा है तो ज़रूर हम सोचेंगे उसके ऊपर। और इसलिए बड़े एफएसआई के कारण जो रीडेवलपमेंट रुका था उसको बढ़ावा मिला। अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग हमारी प्रायोरिटी है। कोविड के समय बहुत ही तकलीफ में, मैंने कहा अभी कि उनको हमने सपोर्ट किया है और कई कंसेशन भी दिए हैं उनको। और हमारा मिशन भी है कि स्लम फ्री सिटी, स्लम फ्री मुंबई, इसलिए क्लस्टर का निर्माण हमने शुरू कर दिया है। एक क्लस्टर तो रमाबाई अंबेडकर नगर, कामराज नगर में शुरू हो गया है, एसआरए और MMRDA कर रहा है। थाने में भी क्लस्टर शुरू है, मुंबई में कई जगह पर ये क्लस्टर का निर्माण होगा ताकि एक प्लान सिटी खड़ी हो जाएगी। छोटे छोटे बिल्डिंगें बना के, स्टैंड अलोन बिल्डिंग बना के कुछ फ़ायदा नहीं है, ओपन स्पेस नहीं मिलेगा, एम्यूनिटी नहीं मिलेगी। ये क्लस्टर के माध्यम से सभी एम्यूनिटीज़ उनको प्रोवाइड की जाएगी, ये फ़र्क है। और इसलिए ये एक डायनामिक हाउसिंग पॉलिसी हमने लाई है। इसलिए ये पॉलिसी देश के हाउसिंग सेक्टर में एक नई क्रांति लाएगी, ये मुझे पूरा विश्वास है। धारावी रीडेवलपमेंट का काम हमने शुरू कर दिया है। एशिया की सबसे बड़ी झोपड़पट्टी है और उसमें भी एक बड़ा ट्रांसफॉर्म आएगा जो रीडेवलपमेंट का देश का सबसे बड़ा एग्जाम्पल होगा। ये भी यहाँ पर मैं विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूँ। रियल इस्टेट, हाउसिंग और छोटे बड़े उद्यमों में क्षेत्र में आज नई अपॉर्चुनिटी खुल रही है। यहाँ जो भी आएंगे उन्होंने इस अपॉर्चुनिटी का फ़ायदा लेना चाहिए। यहाँ पर हमारे राज्य के साथ हाथ में हाथ डालकर आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। हजारों लोगों के लिए आर्थिक अवसर निर्माण हो रहे हैं। सरकार चाहती है कि हर परिवार को अपना घर हो। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी भी कहते हैं हाउसिंग फॉर ऑल, हाउसिंग फॉर ऑल, सबके लिए घर। हमारे आदरणीय बाला साहब ठाकरे जी का भी सपना था 40 लाख लोगों को घर। आप इसको मालूम है हाफिज भाई को? तो उसके लिए ये जो जितने भी ये सारे प्रोजेक्ट है उसको हम आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, उसको बढ़ावा दे रहे हैं ताकि लाखों लोगों को मुंबई में घर मिलेंगे, उनका जीवन पद्धति बदल जाएगी। इसके लिए सरकार पूरी तरह कोशिश कर रही है और एक क्लस्टर के माध्यम से होगा। आज हमारे बीच कई आर्किटेक्ट उपस्थित हैं। शहर एक केवल इमारतों, सड़कों या पुलों का संग्रह नहीं है। शहर लोगों का जीवन, उनकी संस्कृति, उनकी आशाएं और उनका भविष्य है। We shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us. ये तो हमें करना है क्योंकि हमें भी कुछ योगदान देना पड़ेगा। आर्किटेक्चरल डिज़ाइन नहीं करते, वे शहरों को व्यक्तित्व, कार्यक्षमता और रहने योग्यता तय करते हैं। इसलिए आर्किटेक्ट भी बहुत मायने रखते हैं। आज बड़ी तेज़ी से अर्बनाइजेशन हो रहा है। सरकार विकास के लिए नीतियाँ प्रदान कर सकती है, लेकिन उद्योग क्षेत्र को रचनात्मक, गुणवत्ता, जिम्मेदारी के साथ काम करना होगा। हमारा लक्ष्य सिर्फ विकास नहीं है बल्कि सस्टेनेबल और एनवायरनमेंट फ्रेंडली विकास हम चाहते हैं। आपका भी वही विषय है और इसलिए हमने ग्रीन TDR देने का भी निर्णय लिया है पिछले विंटर सेशन में, क्या ताकि हमारी सरकार प्रो डेवलपमेंट और प्रो एनवायरनमेंट है। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कहा था, इफ वी वांट द प्रोसेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट टू बी सस्टेनेबल वी हैव टू वर्क विथ द एनवायरनमेंट। ये जरूरी है, एनवायरनमेंट भी चाहिए। हमें डेवलपमेंट के साथ एनवायरनमेंट का भी ख्याल रखना चाहिए। मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ। अटल सेतु जब हम बना रहे थे, कई एनजीओज ने कहा कि वहाँ के फ्लेमिंगो भाग जाएंगे। तभी मैं उसी डिपार्टमेंट का मिनिस्टर था। मैंने हमारे अधिकारियों को कहा कि यहाँ से फ्लेमिंगो नहीं जाना चाहिए, ऐसा काम करो, यहाँ जो भी टेक्नोलॉजी लाना है वो लाओ। तो उन्होंने वो करके दिखाया। हमने वहाँ रिवर्स सर्कुलेशन ड्रिल का इस्तेमाल किया, वहाँ नॉइज बैरियर लगा दिए। वही एनजीओ ने कहा अपने रिपोर्ट में, ये पूरा अटल सेतु कंप्लीट होने के बाद एनजीओ कम नहीं हुए, फ्लेमिंगो कम नहीं हुए, फ्लेमिंगो बढ़ गए। ये बड़ी अचीवमेंट है। इसलिए हम ऐसे शहरों को बुनियादी ढांचे को निर्माण करना चाहते हैं और पर्यावरण पूरक, आधुनिक और नागरिकों के जीवन को आसान बनाएंगे। इस दिशा में आर्किटेक्ट, इंजीनियर्स, डेवलपर्स और पॉलिसी मेकर्स की भूमिका बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। हम अभी तक मेक इन इंडिया के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, लेकिन अभी हमें मेक फॉर वर्ल्ड के बारे में सोचना होगा और इसीलिए ऐसे मंच की आवश्यकता है। iDAC जैसे मंच पर सरकार और उद्योग को साथ लाने का काम करते हैं। हमारा उद्देश्य महाराष्ट्र राज्य को भारत के आर्थिक भविष्य में छलांग लगाने का लॉन्च पैड बनाना है और इसी दिशा में हम काम कर रहे हैं। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, महाराष्ट्र देश का ग्रोथ इंजिन है। महाराष्ट्र इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए लगातार पसंदीदा दे रहे हैं क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र इंडस्ट्री फ्रेंडली स्टेट बन चुका है। साल दर साल हमारा एफडीआई में भी हम नंबर 1 हैं। वर्ल्ड क्लास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, स्किल मैन पावर और मजबूत सरकार महाराष्ट्र में है, इसलिए ये आगे हम बढ़ रहे हैं। डिसीजन फटाफट लेना जरूरी है। नो रीजन, ऑन द स्पॉट डिसीजन लेने वाला सरकार हमारा है और इसीलिए ये राज्य की प्रगति हो रही है। कोस्टल बन गया, अटल सेतु बन गया, समृद्धि बन रहा है, मेट्रो का काम बहुत तेजी से चल रहा है और देश का जीडीपी महाराष्ट्र का योगदान लगभग 14% है। देश का 30% एफडीआई अकेले महाराष्ट्र में आया है। आप विश्वास नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन महाराष्ट्र की इकोनॉमी पूरी दुनिया के 35 देशों से ज़्यादा बड़ी है और एमएसएमई क्षेत्र में भी हमारा कंट्रीब्यूशन 14% है। औद्योगिक उत्पादन में 21 लाख करोड़ का पल्ला हमने पार कर दिया है। फार्मा हो, इंजीनियरिंग हो, ऑटोमोबाइल हो, टेक्सटाइल हो, हर क्षेत्र में महाराष्ट्र नंबर 1 है और इसलिए सर्विस इंडस्ट्री, आईटी, फाइनेंस, लॉजिस्टिक्स और टूरिज्म में महाराष्ट्र नंबर 1 है। 2 साल में महाराष्ट्र की एक्सपोर्ट हमें दुगनी करनी है, यह हमारा लक्ष्य है। और मैं इतना ही कहूँगा, और स्टेट इज एन इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ ऑनरेबल पीएम विजन ऑफ ए $5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी। उसमें हमारा योगदान $1 ट्रिलियन का है। लेकिन नीति आयोग ने कहा था सिर्फ मुंबई और एमएमआर में ही आपका $1 ट्रिलियन नहीं, $1.5 ट्रिलियन का पोटेंशियल सिर्फ मुंबई और एमएमआर में है। इतना बड़ा पोटेंशियल है उन्होंने करी और इसलिए ऐसे एक्सपो काम आएंगे। और इसलिए मैं जाते जाते इतना ही कहूँगा कि जिस दिन चल पड़े हैं हम, संजू जी, जायसवाल जी, जिस दिन चल पड़े हैं हम मंजिल पे नज़र है, जिस दिन चल पड़े हम मंजिल पे नज़र है। इन आँखों ने कभी मील का पत्थर नहीं देखा, इन आँखों ने कभी मील का पत्थर नहीं देखा। महाराष्ट्र सरकार सभी प्रकार के विकास के लिए कटिबद्ध है, प्रतिबद्ध है। हम सभी इस विकास रथ के पहिए बनकर काम करेंगे और इसे गति प्रदान करेंगे। मुझे विश्वास है कि ये iDAC एक्सपो 2026 नई विजन, नई टेक्नोलॉजी और नए सहयोग के अवसर पैदा करेगा। और इसलिए मैंने कहा था कि नाम में ही iDAC है, तो नई नई आइडिया लेकर आप आते हो और इसलिए ये मुंबई महाराष्ट्र को आगे बढ़ाने में हम साथ साथ मिलकर आगे बढ़ाएंगे। इतना ही मैं कहूँगा, ये आपका आयोजन जो है एक्सपो का वो सफल हो जाए, यशस्वी हो जाए, ऐसी कामना करता हूँ और सभी लोगों को फिर एक बार बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र।
Sir, I request you to please stay on stage. Honorable Shri Eknath Shinde ji, it's an absolute honor having you here with us today. I would request Dr. Pankaj Bhoyar and Mr. Dhaval Thakur to felicitate Honorable Shri Eknath Shinde ji. I request all our panelists to please be seated. All our esteemed panelists, I request you all to take your seats. We would want